So Jimmy, you've had 2 days since the last game, and reflecting on that, have your thoughts on the 90 minutes changed, or still the same after post-match?
Still aspects of our performance that I was disappointed in. We need to tighten up and be better. I think on reflection of that first half up until the massive changing point in the game that the lad got sent off, I thought actually the first 15 minutes we were a lot better than I thought. We were a lot more in control, and we're probably the architect of our own downfall in terms of allowing them back in the game. And still massive credit to them on their approach and the way they approached the game. I thought they were a good outfit, a good team. Most definitely they'll be up there towards the end of the season, or come the end of the season. So all in all, positive result, some positives within our performance. We'll move on and get cracking with this game on Saturday against Sutton.
So I guess the main talking point for tomorrow is the return of supporters. Does that change how you plan and how the players might be affected on the pitch?
Our planning and preparation will remain exactly the same. Obviously it's going to be a different occasion for the players, having not played in front of supporters for such a long time. So I'd imagine it'd be foolish to think that Sutton aren't going to have advantage with their support behind, and it's not going to play a part in the game. Of course, it will play a part in the game, but we've got to approach it no differently to how we approach a normal game. We've got a game plan. We need to execute that, whether they have momentum and have the backing of their fans or not. So one thing I'm a little bit disappointed with, obviously the tier system. On some teams are allowed fans, some teams aren't. Obviously, we're currently not allowed supporters within our football matches and our games, which I think puts us at a slight unfair advantage.
And saying that, I guess for the players, after playing behind closed doors for so long, they might have adapted to that, but to play in front of a crowd again is another motivation, isn't it?
Of course, they play a massive part. Whether they're for you or against you. Just that environment of noise. I think it adds to the adrenaline. I think it adds to the occasion. I think some players do get a massive stimulus. Of course, there's some players who have as the adverse effect. And they might suffer. Their performance might suffer. But it's going to be exciting. Whether we've got no fans in that ground tomorrow, it's just going to be nice to have some kind of atmosphere at the in the game tomorrow.
And they've had quite a strong start, haven't they? Sutton sitting second place, and is that the sort of test you expect from them to really, come at us and give us a tough afternoon?
They're a good team. They're flying. They've had some really, really good performances, really good results. They've got a way of playing that's very, very effective. They know their roles and responsibilities inside out. So, us looking at them, we're looking up. We've got a couple of games in hand on them, but currently they're sat in second. They're sat in second for a reason, because they're in really good form and they're getting some fantastic results. So it'll be a difficult task, a difficult challenge for us. No doubt they've done their due diligence on us, and likewise we have on them. So we're looking at hopefully capitalising and building some momentum from the clean sheet and 3 points on Tuesday evening.
And adapting to the playing surface as well, I guess. But fortunately, we've got the 3G out on the back of the stadium, so that's been a bonus for the preparation.
Yeah, actually, when I first come to the football club, obviously the training facility wasn't developed. It wasn't. We weren't able to get on the grass and train. So the lads are accustomed to training on 3G. I think I spent the first 8-9 weeks of my Solihull career training on the 3G. You're right, we're blessed that we have got good facilities and access to good facilities, so we've amended our training programme and been up here the last 2 days just to make sure we're not caught out with the change of surface. It obviously plays a lot different. The ball moves a little bit different, a little bit slower depending on the quality of the 3G. And most importantly, I think lots of people will relate 3G surfaces to injuries. The issue is when you have that change of surface, and we just try to make sure we've had 2 sensible days on the grass. So we're not going from purely training and working on grass to a 3G, and it's foreign. So we're blessed, and obviously it helps and plays a massive part having access to our own 3G.
It's now the time to almost look at the games ahead and think we can pick up points now and almost get ourselves back to where we want to be. And I know we've had the games postponed, but it's almost playing catch up with games, but also making sure the points are on the board as well.
I think my approach is one game at a time. Of course we set the players some little points challenges and little goals in small little blocks and chunks. We've done that. We've looked at that, but we can't never look beyond the next game, and that's exactly what we're doing against Sutton. So Hartlepool, Sutton wasn't even in our thinking. We get the Hartlepool game out of the way, then it's on to Sutton, and should we play Dover in the week, it'd be exactly the same. That's out the way. It's on to Dover, on to the next. So, we're conscious that we're playing catch up in terms of games. It's obviously better when you're in a position when you've already got the points on the board, and not to be wishful thinking on what points we could gain and where we could be. We are where we are, and we've got to make sure that we approach every game a game at a time and try and make sure we max out and get as many 3 points as we possibly can.
The bonus you've had is a few players returning back to the squad, and that showed on Tuesday with Gudge coming back and obviously James Bull playing again and scoring. I guess the only one is Joe Sabara that missed the second half at Morecambe and Tuesday night. How's he progressing?
Yeah, well, he come off in the Morecambe game, and I think going back to that game was a massive blow for us. He's been one of our standout performers this season. He's very clever. He suits the way we want to play, and gives us a real advantage. At playing between the lines and being able to overload certain areas and getting us playing forward. So it was a massive blow. He came off in that game he just felt his hamstring. We think it's a grade 1. It doesn't require a scan. He's been out on the grass today and done some real short, sharp bits of change of direction. A little bit too soon for tomorrow's selection, but we'll open him up and we'll expose him to some bigger spaces on Monday. If he comes to that, fine. He'll be back in training as normal from Tuesday and available for our next game.
Just finally, it's obviously a big miss to the squad, but players are fighting for positions, and to have that competition is a headache for yourself, but a good one to have.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've got a real competitive squad, and we're fortunate that we have real strength in depth. So when we have these tough games, and obviously with us not training for 2 weeks, with the COVID situation, it allows us to call upon the squad and make sure that potential players that may be of risk because of their loading, we're able to bring them out of the team and give them appropriate rest, which I think is vital. It's going to play a massive part in this season. In us being able to utilise that squad. I think we said from day dot, I'm not one that's massive on squad rotation, but we have to be sensible with it. So we've got competition all across the pitch, and regardless what position on the pitch we bring a player out and put a player in, we think we're going to be really competitive. So yeah, it's a massive strength for us, and no doubt we'll be utilising that squad over the next 2 to 3 weeks.